Hey everybody, this is Soph,
This is Rich.
and we are from across the
Across the pond.
pond.
Oh
Excuse me,
God, Rich has got the
where'd that come
corona.
from? Where
Well,
did that come from? Are you trying to say my breast stank?
I'm trying to say I don't want to catch your corona germs coughing up all over the gaff.
I done got my second shot, so I don't know about a shot.
Talking to
I
that
don't know
before we
about
say how was your weekend, how are you feeling now? Because Friday you was a bit dicey and dodgy after the
Guess
old.
what? Your boy is back. This is how it should have went down Friday. Bop, 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 bop. That's how it should have went down Friday.
Can I
But
just?
I
Sorry, carry on.
am back and better than ever. You know what I mean?
That's what we're saying. He's back in the building now.
Yeah.
It's catching. I'm doing a U today. I'm doing a U today.
What?
Since we had wine on Friday for our party, my cup still hasn't been washed. So I'm going Starbucks coconut iced coffee. And I don't mind shouting them out because if they want to send us some, I'm down for that.
I don't even know if we even have that here. I don't know if we even have it. I don't know because I don't really fool with Starbucks. But if you do want to send us some, I'll drink regular coffee or
Let's
French
not get it twisted.
dark
I
or French.
I have Costa over Starbucks any day. But if they want to send us some to change my mind, who am I to argue?
Did you say Costa?
Costa.
Coaster?
Costa coffee. Anyway, how was your weekend? Go.
Well, my weekend was it was okay.
What did you do?
I just laid around the house now. Today I was at a ceremony for one of my friends' son. He's 18 years old. And it was a beautiful, I've never been to a Eagle Scout ceremony, and it was beautiful. Mm-hmm. Got a little tear. I told you, I don't know what it is lately, but I've been getting like, emotion. I don't know if it's a man-menstral, but I got a little teary-eyed because it was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony.
Nice. Did his mum cry? Mums always cry at things like that.
Yeah, mom. Half the people in the room started crying. And then they had a lady from the House of Representatives, House of the Senate. The one guy couldn't make it, but gave the young man a flag. They flew over the Capitol to represent him. He got 2 little citations from the Capitol and the Senate with his name. So he's actually in the history books and in the history books of the town. And I was like, how much pressure can you put on an 18-year-old who's getting ready to graduate and go out into this world?
Yeah, but that's just it. When you're 18, you're a man now. So come on, take that responsibility and run with it. Take that flag and wave it high.
Though. And I'm gonna say something that the lady said, which was really moving, and it was powerful because he is a Black young man. You know what I mean? So she was like, you know what? She says, with everything that's going on in the world right now, and with kids being killed and kids killing kids and stuff like that, she said, this is where the news should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the only annoying thing. You never hear good stuff like that in the news. It's all doom and bloody.
Yeah, I mean that senator lady, she did her thing. She gave me this nice little certificate. It was dope. It was really
senator lady. Do your thing. We ain't mad at you.
I know, because she was like, she says, what the way the world is going now, and she says, and this young man, and I'm gonna tell you, this is the first time I've ever been to an Eagle Scout thing, so I knew nothing about it. For the past couple months, I've just been, hearing stuff about it here and there. So then when the ceremony actually happened, and they had this one guy who was a colonel, okay, had his little scout uniform on. Yo, he did his thing. He had me ready to re-enlist again. That junk was powerful.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. The only colonel I know is the colonel from KFC. I don't know any
No,
other
with no
colonels other
biscuits.
than
They
that.
don't give them no biscuits, people in England. I don't know what's going
Mm.
on with that one.
Okay, so come on, give your young man a shout out. What's his name? Shout him out.
Yeah, boy, Gabriel Kennedy, my man, 18 years old now, getting ready to graduate. He made it Eagle Scouts, which is 12 years of Boy Scouts. I didn't know they were broken down into categories, but it's categories from, I guess, 12 years. So I say from first grade all the way up to senior. And he had to do a almost like a what do you call them, end of the school year projects or whatever. I forgot what they call them here. But anyway, he did a project that the scout people had to approve. That was dope. And then they brought that up, and then they broke down for people like me each step, each year, how he progressed. And he had his little sash was just filled with little, when you're a kid and you think about Boy Scouts, and you always see those movies where they go, you help the old lady across the street and you
And
get a
you get a
little
badge.
badge, all that. His whole sash was covered. I'm talking about cover. I was like, man. And they were showing, and
Like the
huh?
little boy in Up.
Yeah, way better. He had the little boy down pat. The boy probably had still a couple years. And you know what the special part of it was? He has cerebral palsy. So he has, I mean, he has a little limp, you know what I mean, in his leg.
Mm-hmm.
But they were talking about all the accomplishments he was doing. And, I mean, it was like he might not be the fastest swimmer, he might not be the fastest runner, but if you need him, he was there. Tears just got to rolling. And then you start hearing all the accomplishments that this young man has done. And then I'm a type of person where, you try not to cry, but that young man got up there and started crying. I was just like, it's okay. Go ahead. Get your cry on, young man. Get your cry on. Nothing wrong with
Oh,
it, people.
go
So
on
it
with
was a
your bad
beautiful
self.
thing.
Go on, Gabriel. Do your thing. You're a man now. You got your badges. That's what we
Mm-hmm.
like to hear.
Booyaka, booyaka!
Bruh, bruh. So,
Blah, blah.
my weekend sat. I
Other
mean,
than
I'm.
that, I later on.
Huh?
I said, other than that, I later on.
Okay. It's still blazing squad here. Sun is out in
I'm so jealous.
force. Got me a
I'm
little
so
tan
jealous.
on. And you know what? I was talking to the dude earlier, right? And this is when you
You and that
realize
dude.
you're getting old. We're like, man, I'm loving this weather. And I was like, yeah, my washing basket's empty because I can hang it outside on the line. Yes. That's when you know you're getting old, when you get excited about your washing basket being empty. But so yeah, I've done some washing. Me and Alfie went to the
You said
river.
laundry, right? Look,
Yeah,
washing means laundry. Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Um, Me and Alfie went to see the boats yesterday at the river, at the lock. What did we do today? Today we were just a home day, really, just pottering around at home.
Are you talking about Little Jungle Book Mowgli?
Yeah.
Are
Shall
you
I
talking
see?
about Little Mowgli?
Yes. I mean, that was just like a spitting image, right? Let me see
Oh my God.
if I can share, if you can see it. So there is Mowgli from the Jungle Book, and there is Alfie, like spitting image. He's even got the same stance, It is, oh my God, Rich is frozen. Is he gonna come back? Is he gonna come back into the room? I feel like I'm just left winging it. Hello, hello. What do I do? Oh my God. Ooh. We're back.
Ah!
Two heart
Booyaka,
attacks.
booyaka!
Two
We
heart
can't
attacks
be
in one just
we
happened
can't
there.
be defeated. I don't know what that was.
Rich just cut out altogether and left me hanging.
I did
Oh,
not leave you hanging. That was a error all on its own. Don't be trying to make it sound like I just be leaving you hanging, girl.
you did. You were like this.
I did not. I was talking and I thought my computer blew up or something. It just said,
Do you know
bang.
what?
I
Do
was
you
like,
know what it probably thought? Oh, here's another one of them episodes where Rich is going to do 90% of the talking. Let's kick him out.
You know what? And again, I'm going to say I apologize for that. But, if you want to keep it going, I want all that smoke. I
Okay,
want
so we're
all that
back.
smoke.
Crisis
Woo!
averted. I
Yeah.
mean, this hair's looking a mess, but we're
All right.
here. This is what we
Back
do.
to your clothesline and empty wash basket.
We've done that now. We got onto
and,
Alfie looking like
and
Mowgli from
Alfie
the
looking
Jungle
like
Book.
Mowgli.
It paused, so if anyone missed it, here we go again.
Your phone probably cut us off.
If you can tell which one's Mowgli from the Jungle Book and which one's Alfie.
All right. Cute. Now,
But yeah.
get the phone away
So
from me.
yeah, that was the weekend. Home day today. Park yesterday. Sun still blazing squad. Getting my tan on. Loving eating my dinner outside. That be that.
That be that. Let's get into some serious Sunday.
Yeah, before you decide to do one again. So, Serious Sunday. We are talking pushy parents. So,
Yeah.
at what point do you make the transition, or is there a fine line between encouraging your children and pushy parents? Now, I'm going to tell you, the first time I really saw pushy parents was when I watched a program about them pageants you have in the US. Beauty pageants for little kids.
Yeah, the little kid beauty pageants, which are creepy.
Yeah, okay, forget that they're creepy. Have you heard their mums, man? Literally.
No. Now, when Alfie gets into sports, that's when you start really hearing some pushy parents, yo. There's some videos. Wait till we blow up. There's some videos where you can see some parents going at it. There were at baseball games, at any sports activity that got your kid in it.
But this is what
you
I'm
got
saying.
Parents going in.
You can have parents at the sideline. Oh my God, grooming the beard live on the show. God, we've got it all today. Jeez.
I'm back.
Bougie.
Back.
Yeah, you can be encouraging, like standing on the sideline, cheering your child, whatever. That's encouraging. But pushy parents, like when you push them, let's say, like parents who live their dreams through their child. Say
this
like
is sickening.
But say like me, I didn't, by the way, but say I wanted to be a sports person when I was younger, which I didn't. And for whatever reason, injury or one reason or another, I didn't make it. Then Alfie comes on, I'm like, right, well, he can do it then. And I'm like, you're doing it, live, breathe, eat, sleep, this activity,
Yeah.
That's what I mean by pushy parents.
Yeah, I got some friends who I really gotta give hats off to them because they weren't pushy parents and their kids came out dope. I'm gonna just give one example. My friend Parson. As a parent, are we ever going to win, parent of the award? No, but he's always encouraged his son. And now his son is a star in football. His son is named Micah Parson, who is phenomenal. He's a beast. He was a beast in high school. Dad was there the whole way. Went to Penn State, a beast. Very humble young man. If you talk to him, you would think that like he's a big, healthy dude. He's like a monster, right? So down to earth, very intelligent, very articulate. He already graduated already, like he's super smart. Now he's entered into the draft. And to me, he ain't living out Parsons' dream because I went to school with him and he wasn't thinking about no football. And I gotta give it to parents like that who don't let your kids live out their own dream. You know what I mean?
I think sometimes the problem with parents is, or not necessarily parents, kids go through phases. I really want to be a footballer. So you plow everything in, you buy the kit, you buy the boot, you invest in the lessons. Months later, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be a rugby player. So then you do the rugby, the this, that, the other, plow it all in there. I do think when your child shows an interest in something, though, a passion, I definitely think you should be all in, supportive and encouraging, even if it's not something like we had a conversation, or it was on the thing the other day, or what if Alfie, or what if your sons wanted to be a boxer? Do I want to see my son get in the ring and be punched in the face? No. But if he genuinely said, I love the sport, I love doing it, this is what I want to do, I would support him. I wouldn't be like morning, noon, and night, you've got to eat, breathe, sleep, boxing, like get in there, do it. I just think there's a fine line.
Yeah, and you know what? You're absolutely right. There's a fine line between support and trying to live through your job. For instance, my sons are I think my oldest son is a beautiful young man. And now he wants to pursue acting. And I'm like, go for it. Did I ever want in my head, did I ever want to go, man, I want to be an actor? Yeah, I thought about it. Did I ever want to be a model? I tried it, thought about it, tried it. It wasn't my cup of tea. But my son, I'm excited for him, but do I want to live through him? Like, do I pressure him to doing this and doing that? Nope. I just fall back. But I'm one of those parents, I've always been that way. Even when they were playing sports, my son wanted to play basketball. He played it. And if he didn't miss it, like say he shot a shot and he didn't make it, he would look up at me and I'd just be like, keep going. Like, I ain't the type of person to scream and holler, keep going, got it, keep going. Now, when we got in the car, then that's when I would critique him and be like, dude, you too tall to be batting the ball around. You need to take that ball, take it up, draw that foul, that type of stuff. But I've watched parents like, yo, scream at their kid and like, really be going at them. And I'd just be like, that's too much pressure for a kid, I think.
Yeah, and the other thing I don't agree with is, like when you've got a child and they're like, oh, I want to be an actor, or I want to be a musician, or I want to be a dancer, and their parents are like doctors or doctors or like dentists or solicitors or something, and they're like, no, you need to carry on the family line, son, you've got to be education, you've got to be a solicitor, you've got to be this, I'm like, nah, why?
Yeah, man. I think as a parent, you just want your kids to be better than you.
But
I
people
thought
seem
that
to
was
think that academic qualification like English, science, maths, or whatever is more important than having a skill or a talent. And I honestly think if a child has got a skill or a talent, you can't teach that. You can't teach that. You've either got it or you haven't.
I
Like
agree.
dancing, I ain't a good dancer. Like, I ain't got two left feet, but can I put a tutu on and some bloody ballet shoes and pirouette around? No. But you can have a person who does do ballet, she'd skip that skirt on and away she twirls, like it's effortless.
Yeah, yeah. Away she twirls.
Yeah, in a little tutu.
And her little tutu.
Like
Yes.
you with your poetry. Not everybody on the planet can write. That's wrong. Everyone can. Most people can write.
Yes,
But what I'm
yes.
saying is, not most people can write poetry. That's a skill to have. So therefore, if your child has got a skill, I really think you should channel it. Now, I don't know what Alfie's skill is yet. He seems to have quite a few,
Yeah.
So I'll just let it play out, and just
Yeah.
see where he wants to go. But yeah, he's definitely.
Yeah, but I tell you, I vote. I think as a parent, you want to always push your kids for whatever they're into. My youngest son was into art. I always encouraged him. I always thought it was dope. I can draw a little, but not like him. Like, he had his own cartoon characters, and I was just like,
But
yo, this
you hear
is
these
dope.
parents all the time. Oh, you're never going to make money from that. That's not a proper job. Things like that really grate on me.
Yeah, I hate that too. I hate when people think that, if your kids are on a way different path than how you were when you were coming up, they just automatically like give them a black eye for not. And I'm not saying black eye physically. I'm talking about a black eye, like, don't want to support them. Oh, well, good luck. Stuff like that. Like, both my sons are very artistic. I have two stepsons. The one played football, and the other one was in the art as well. And I kid you not, his portfolio is ridiculous. And then but see, the thing that I love, instead of being pushy, how about be proud of their
Mm,
growth
mm.
in what they want to do?
Exactly. That's what I think a lot of parents miss. Like when we were just talking about talents and stuff, there's this autistic guy called Stephen Wiltshire, and he is autistic, but he literally draws landscape drawings. Like he went around New York, Times
Mhm.
Square, I think it was. He was in a helicopter for 20 minutes, right? And he drew a 7-foot picture just from his memory of what he saw of the whole landscape. He does it all the time. He is amazing. Like, and obviously Alfie's autistic, but men like that give me actually fill me with hope, because obviously I worry about Alfie. I know I just said
Mhm.
he's got a lot of different things that he's good at, and I don't know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
direction he's going to go in yet, but I
yeah.
do worry about, like, what's he going to do when
Yeah.
he's older? So when I see people like that, it does really,
Mhm.
like, fill me with joy and totally give me hope. I bought my mum one of his prints, not an original, sorry mum, I ain't got that sort of money at the minute. um but I bought my mum one of his prints for her birthday last year, I think it is, and I really want one myself. I haven't got one yet. um Partly because there's so many that are not, I can't decide which one I want. But I just think, what an absolute talent and a skill to have. You just look at a landscape for 20 minutes and you draw the whole thing. I'm going to tag him in today's post. But yeah, I love him.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference between I just had it, I just lost it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. I thought it
Sorry.
was fitting what I was trying to add to what you were saying. Oh, I lost it. I hate that.
See,
Well, anyway,
nothing
I do
about the
believe I
special
do
needs kid.
believe pushy parents get on my nerves. I know that
Yeah.
for a fact. Especially if you're trying to enjoy your child doing what they love, and you got some catty females, or you got some bully dads that just like you're taking away from your child having fun and
Mm.
enjoying itself. Now everybody watching you act like boo boo the fool. I hate that. I
That's
hate
what I
that with
mean.
a passion.
When parents become pushy, it's almost like children are only children for a short period of time. So you should allow
Mhm.
them to enjoy their childhood and be children, rather than policing them and, like, being regimental to do whatever it is you want them to do.
And you got parents that want to be coaches, but then when they need a coach, they don't want to even join. Like they don't want to do it, but yet you can get on the sideline and give it to the coach, the acting instructor, the ballet instructor, the you know what I mean, because you're too busy trying to live out your dream that your
But
kids end up turning around not wanting to do it anymore.
and not only
That's what
that,
I see.
I think it's going to have if you try and push your child to do something that you want them to do rather than what they want to do, I feel like it's going to have a bad impact on them, because if they don't want to do it, they ain't going to put their all into it. They're not going to put any effort into it. So then you're going to say, well, you was rubbish. You didn't do that right. You need to do this. You need to do that. So they're going to feel like crap, So it's going to bring down their self-esteem.
Yeah, hands down, I agree. I'm gonna tell you right now, my dad is my dad is the truth, and I told my kids this, and they just thought it was the funniest thing alive. I think I participated as a kid in like every sport imaginable, and I just quit. I was like, I played. I did wrestling. They put me in a little, that little onesie joint. I'm a
Mm.
I'm a stick at this time. I'm a stick. That boy folded me up. I walked right off the joint and quit. I was like, I don't want to do it. And then I did football. I got stuck so hard that it took the wind out of me. I walked right off that field. The next day, quit. and then and then I tried out for baseball, right? The coach gave me the wrong glove and tried to make me be a right-hander, and I was like, dude, I can't throw this ball with this hand. I throw like a girl with this hand, and he whizzed the ball at me. I caught it, but it clipped the glove and it hit me. I walked right into the dugout and went home. And my dad used to say, and I'll never forget it. There was only one sport that I like gravitated to, and my dad never really pushed me in any of these sports. It was just the coach came to my, and I'm gonna tell you, I had a lot of coaches come to the house and go, "Your son has potential," but he just walked off the field. And you know, my dad used to say, "Well, it's up to him." You know what I mean? It's up to him. And then I always remember him going, "Well, he's right upstairs if you want to talk to him." And I used to always yell down the steps, "I don't want to play." He'd be like, "You heard him. He don't want to do it. I'm not gonna make him do something he don't want to do." And
Mm.
I told my kids that, and they were. I looked over, and they were over there in tears. They was like, "Dad, that has got to be the funniest story." It's just real. My dad was never one of those pushy parents. He was just like, sometimes you just got to keep trying stuff until you
Until you
figure
find your
out.
niche, yeah.
You find, and then when I got in the track, I was the man.
I
Even
did
though I almost quit that too. I almost
the
quit.
only sport after school sport thing like club I ever went to was judo. I did that till I got a yellow belt, and then I was just like, nah, this I've done this now. But then after
Yeah.
that, I went and I think I was about 10, and I did ballroom dancing. And I swear to God, everybody else in the class was over 80, apart from me. And all the old ladies used to say, "Oh, you're doing so well. Oh my God, you're so good." But I loved it. I love me some ballroom dancing. Other
Hmm.
than that, my things were like art. I mean, I say on every show I ain't sporty. Only thing I run is a bath. So there's no track for me. There's no ball
I love it.
sports.
If my knees wasn't all jacked up, I'd probably still be running right now. I really enjoyed it. Even though it's a team sport, it's an individual sport as well.
Mm.
Because can't nobody make you run.
Well,
Like
if something's
football, you
chasing
need
you,
a,
it can.
yeah, like in football, in football, and in soccer, and in rugby, it takes everybody
Mm.
to score a point. It's just you. You either can run or you can't. You know what I mean? It's
Mm.
still a team sport, but it's an
But this is the
individual.
thing I don't understand really about like football and stuff. Well, we call it football here, you call it soccer. They always have like man of the match. You just said yourself, it's a team sport, but you're going to single out one person from the whole game that
Mhm.
supposedly played better than everybody else.
Yeah,
How's
I don't
that?
get that either. Now you got some standout plays. Like I like when they show highlights, and the
Yeah.
highlights are just some of the best parts of the game. But to just praise one person, I don't get it either.
That's
But
like
that's
someone saying, I love Across the Pond with Rich and Soph show, but Rich, you are dope. You carry that show.
hmm.
That's
Nah, we carry the
but
show,
that's
but
what I'm saying. That's like somebody singling one person out when it's a
yeah, but
team
see, I
thing.
think that's in all sports because I think there's some people who are just, to me, I think the people that stand out the most when it comes to sports, just somebody who is just naturally good. Like for instance, Michael Jordan was a terrible basketball player in college.
Mhm.
I don't know if he even played high school ball, but in college he wasn't the best. But when he got to the NBA, he just turned on a switch and he just blew the hell up. Kevin
I
Garnett.
I wonder if he had pushy parents. See, if you're
I
listening,
don't
Michael
know.
Jordan, answer us on a
You
postcard.
always, that's one of the questions, when in the interviews, I don't know if they're just, giving shout outs to their parents, but you never know. Dad probably was
But
pushy.
we've asked people, like we asked Knox, what did his parents think about him doing music? And he said that they weren't for it.
Yeah.
And it took ages for his dad to say, oh, actually, that sounds good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's made it and he's blowing up.
Mhm.
But he didn't have, I'm not saying his parents didn't support him, don't get it twisted. But, he didn't have pushy parents or, his parents' approval of
But then
what he's doing.
also what I don't like, when you have a child who is talented, and this goes across the board, and the parents try to just live off of their child. I hate
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. Well, there's that whole big thing with Britney Spears, ain't it? Her dad's scooping all their money.
Macaulay Culkin, his parents robbed him. There's a lot of like child stars, actresses, even sports that their kids are phenomenal, but you don't really hear a lot of the ugly backstories where these kids are in so under so much pressure because they're trying to keep the lights on that the parents should be doing.
But then, isn't there? I know, obviously, it's the parents' ultimate job, right, to look after the best interest of their child. But where's the help for the child? Like, shouldn't there be a third party? Like,
Yeah, but see, that's the thing with anything. That's your child. Like,
mm,
if you really are supporting your child and you want the best for them, then you're gonna put the right people in their life. But then you got a lot of parents, and now I can give some shout outs to some parents who are great managers. You know what I mean? Manage your kids' funds. Don't put their hands in their money. You know what I mean? There's a lot of parents out there that don't get the proper, props that they deserve because of these pushy parents or these parents that just push their kids out there. Like you said, living through their kid. Oh, I wanted to be a child actor, or I wanted to be a model, or I wanted to play tennis or whatever. And then when they start making it, then all of a sudden they feel as though the parents need all that money. You don't need all that's for them. Put it in a savings
mm,
account or put it in some type of account where I would want if my kids was really like just straight out the gate talented, which they all are, but what I'm saying if they were like a LeBron or a Michael Jordan or a Michael Jackson or you know what I mean,
mm.
someone of that caliber, my job for me is to set my son up for life. That'd be my main focus. Look, my life is already halfway done. Okay, what I got out of life is what I'm going to continuously get out of life. But when it comes to your children, you're supposed to protect them,
But do you
not
know
live
that?
through
Do
them.
you know the funny thing is, and I know it's only a joke before he starts getting on the phone and texting and calling, but my dad says all the time, "Yeah, when you blow up, I'm going to retire. Get that talk show because
Oh,
I'm
my
going to
dad says that
retire."
all the time. He says that all the time. My dad's favorite line is, "Boy, you gonna get me out the hood, ain't you?" I be like, "Yes, sir. Yes, I am."
But
But
you
that's
like,
that's just because my dad's never been pushy. I don't think your dad's ever been real pushy to you either. Parents, real parents, just be like, my dad's favorite word was "good luck with that." If that's what you want to do,
but
I'm
you,
all for it.
but
Huh?
talking about like you talking about different parents and stuff, like you have like groups of friends. Well, a particular group of friends that we've got, like all couples. We've all got boys.
Hmm.
So when Robert and Casey had Simone, who I used to look after, she's obviously like the girl, and I was like, well, she's gonna have to pick of the boys. But now she's like three, and they're like, oh, I wonder what sort of clubs does she want to go to. So they're letting her make up her own mind. They signed her up for football and for ballet. So she goes to these clubs, and then when she decides which one she likes, that's where she go. But I did see they put a picture up the other day, and it said, "When you're the only girl in the soccer team," and she was there in her ballet tutu, ready to do her, ready to do her football. So I think, yeah, just sign them up for everything, and then see which one they like. I don't.
You know what? I'm famous for when my kids were younger. I don't push my kids into anything. But if that's what something you want to do, let's roll with it. Like, if you want to, like my son, I said, man, what do you want to do? He wanted to do karate, kung fu or karate. And I was just like, is that something that you want to do? I'm not want to put you in it.
Mm,
And you turn around and be like, oh, I just joined kung fu because you wanted me to do kung fu. No, I did not. Because I'm gonna tell you as a parent, who wants to sit there and watch their kids act a fool? Because in the beginning they don't know nothing. So you just a parent just sitting there, just oh, here you go.
mm.
And then and then you be like, I mean, you be proud of them, but it's like, yo, I'd rather be at home. I don't want to be sitting up here with these parents. I don't know. See, I'll be talking about the real stuff. Like, oh, man, my kids are small. When they did, one of my oldest sons, they did T-ball. I love T-ball, But I hated the whole parent thing.
What's T-ball?
T-ball is like baseball, but it comes on a little stick and it has a little ball on it. And
Mm.
that's when smaller kids. I think he was about maybe 5 or 6. And there's no pitcher. It's just the tee, and you put the ball on. You just crack it, and they just go running. And the kids out in the outfield, like baseball, just they don't have like a pitcher. So I call it T-ball. And I'm gonna tell you what I didn't like, and maybe because I'm just a male, but I couldn't stand the things that parents had to do. Like each week you had to bring snacks and
Uh,
all of that. I just wanna I just wanna watch my son play T-ball. I don't want to interact with other parents because some people give you bad vibes. You just be like, oh, now I gotta see Joe Smo again this week.
oh my
Get on my
God, you sound just like me. I'm the same thing. Like,
I
I
hate
just want to
them.
keep myself to myself. And then I'm just like, and then somebody like my mum will say, oh, you could make new friends. I didn't join to make friends. I don't need any new friends. Leave me alone.
Yeah, now don't get me wrong. I am that embarrassing parent. There's a difference between pushy and embarrassing. Because if my son is out there, oh, I was wilder when he was playing D-ball. If he hit it way out there, I'll be like, yeah, boy, run around the bases, run around the bases, baby, run around the bases. And
Oh,
then my
oh.
son used to be like, when I bring it up, he goes, Dad, that was so embarrassing. I said, hey, it'd be like that. Or, when they get like certain awards and stuff. Oh yeah, I'm up front. You would have thought I was
Oh
photography.
yeah, me too. And I'm not getting it twisted. I'm not
Excuse me,
missing.
sir. Excuse me, sir. My son, they just called my son's name.
I'm not missing anything of Alfie's. And this is probably the good reason that I work for myself. Because if I had a 9 to 5 job employed by someone, but I don't care what position I got, I'm leaving early today because my son's got sport. I'm leaving early today because my son's got a school play. I'm leaving early today because there's a choir singing. I'm leaving early today because my son's got a art gallery. I'm leaving early today because I ain't missing nothing.
Yeah,
And mark my words, I'm going to be at the front in the middle so I can see everything and not miss a damn thing.
I push parents out the way. Excuse me, excuse me. My son's getting ready. They're getting ready to call his name. Excuse me, you're in
Exactly.
the way. You're in the way. My son's just to shake their head. They just be like, "Boy, you are a mess." They be like, "Dad, you're a mess." I'll be like, I gotta get all of that. I gotta get all kind of angles. I'll be all on the floor. I want to see a look up with you. But that's to me, that's the good part of parenting to me.
Mm.
Sometimes you gotta embarrass them a little bit because I got embarrassed a lot. So I was like, yo. But that's the fun part. But when you become a pushy parent, one, you discourage to me, and this is our opinion, people. One, you discourage the child. Because if it's something that he really likes and you too busy trying to go, well, why ain't you doing this and why ain't you doing that? If this is what you want to do, guess what, man? Let him feel it out. He might not even like it, but let him make that decision. But if you feel as though, oh, he can do it, just just keep practicing. Maybe he don't want to do it. Like instruments.
Oh.
Instruments for me, you gotta have a calling.
Now, let me just say,
You gotta have a calling
Alfie
with
is
that.
9, and every year since he was born, what does my dad say? I'm going to buy him a drum kit. No, sir, we are not having a drum kit. Thank you, but no, thank you.
Mm. I think instruments is a calling because I tell you, I understand the symbolism as giving a child an instrument when they're a child because it stimulates a different part of the brain and yada. I get all that, but if they don't like it, don't make them sign
But
up
this is the thing,
or
especially
don't
with like,
sign them up just because you want a babysitter.
but what about like with music? Let's take musical instruments, for example, right? Say your child says, I want to learn the guitar, the recorder, the piano, or whatever, and they genuinely are bad at it, like really bad. Are you still going to encourage them or are you going to be nice or what's the thing to do?
As a
Because they
parent,
just genuinely want to do it. They're passionate about it. No, this is what
yeah.
I mean.
See, the
They
thing
think it
about
sounds
that
great.
is you just gotta give it to your child real. Like I'm not gonna say, hey man, I think you need to hang that up. You know what I mean? But I am just gonna be supportive. Like I'm one of them people that I'm as real as possible. So if my son were to say he playing the guitar, I'd be like, good for you. But then if he's really passionate about it, then I'm gonna try to get the right people. Like I said, you got
Mm.
being a good parent is if you see your son is not the best guitar
Or
player
daughter.
or daughter, not the best guitar player or not the best, but that's what they want to do. You support that. Put them in the right. If you got the money, because not everybody
There's the
has.
catch 22. If you
Yeah,
got the
there's a
money,
catch
these
22.
things
Not
ain't
everybody
cheap.
has. Yeah, not everybody has the money to put them in AUs and basketball camps, but you might know somebody that knows somebody, or put them in activities that you know that would kind of further them into getting better.
Mm.
But don't break the bank because you never know. This is the thing that kids, like you said, kids are fickle.
Mm.
The whole year, he might be telling you, I want to be the best guitar player ever, him or her. And then 6 months to a year from now, they start having friends and they run into something else and just be like, oh, I don't want to do guitar lessons anymore. I want to be a writer. You don't put all that money down the drain for guitar lessons when you knew back here he wasn't going to be the best. But you just still want to show that support. But
Mm.
you need to know boundaries when it comes to stuff like that. You just can't be, oh, he wants to be a guitar player. I'm gonna give him I'm gonna spend the best for him to become a guitar player. And then you
Mm.
never know, 6 months down the road, he just be like,
I
I
mean,
hate
I
guitar.
sometimes wonder if my mum's a little bit slightly disappointed because she's always been athletic. Like she used to play. We have our town team is called Wickham Wanderers.
I gotta blow my nose. Hold on, keep going.
She used to. Oh my god,
Keep
how
going.
unprofessional.
I want to be
She
blowing my nose.
she used to play for Wickham Wanderers ladies, right? So she played for a good team. She used
Mm-hmm.
to do marathons all the time, like had umpteen medals. She still to this day, only yesterday, had a hockey match. She still plays hockey. Now I don't do anything sporty whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So I do wonder, would
There's
she
nothing
be
wrong with it.
well,
My
I know.
dad played my dad played basketball. My dad's very talented in a lot of things, super smart. But did he ever look at us and go, "Oh man, I thought you were going to turn out to be a basketball player"? He was into boxing, so like, my a couple of my brothers got into boxing, and it was kind of like, was it short lived? Yeah, but my dad's never been that person to be like,
But you know the funny thing is, my dad, like you saying you went into these sports and then just walked out. My dad said that my granddad, my Ukrainian granddad, used to really be into boxing. I think that's where I get it from. But he said he signed my dad up to do boxing once. My
"Oh
dad
yeah,
said
I
he
gotta hear that."
literally got in the ring, got punched once, and was like, "Nah, I'm never doing that again. That's not for me."
Yo, I'm telling you, boxing is a whole different breed. First of all, I remember my very first fight, and me and my older brother was talking about this the other day. I love boxing.
Me too.
And for a person who's into boxing, you gotta lose a lot before you become really good at it. Especially when you're coming up. As boys, I can only speak from a guy standpoint. You
Mhm.
had bullies when you were coming up, you had fights and stuff. And you got to learn to take a punch. And that's all about boxing. You can either take a punch or you can't.
Mhm.
And then you got to be able to take that punch and give a punch back. So I remember my my very first fight, like legitimate fight, I got beat up. And the thing about it is, I go home, I'm all heartbroken, I'm crying and stuff. And here goes my older brother. What you crying for? What you crying for? I said, I got beat up. He was like, and you don't really think about stuff like this until like you have somebody who just got your back and just very supportive. He was just like, first of all, calm down, you ain't dying. I was like, oh no, get beat up. You're a kid. And my older brother was like, well, let me ask you one question. Did the punch hurt? And I sat, I sat was like this. Actually, it didn't. Then you're gonna fight him again. And I was just like, oh snap. My heart was like, with him being there, my heart was like this big.
Hmm.
My dad was like, he came out there because we was about to scrap again now. It wasn't no ifs, ands. When it comes to family, when it comes to growing up and fighting, my peoples will lock you out. There's no running. You don't do no running. We don't do no running. That ain't happening. So my brother was like, you gonna go back out there. We're gonna where you live at? We're gonna go back over there and you're gonna fight him again. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, his punch didn't hurt. Yeah, 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 yeah. And man, I got back in front of the kid. I was just like, oh, hey, dude. I was looking up at him like, oh, we about to tear this thing up. And then as soon as my dad came around the corner, he was like, you two, get around the corner. I was like, thank you, Lord Jesus.
Hmm.
So the thing about that is you just got to be supportive. Boxing is not for everyone. Every sport is not for everyone.
No, every talent,
But
every
there's
art,
nothing,
every whatever is not for everybody. You got to find
and
your
there's nothing
niche.
wrong to me. I hate when people go, "Oh, don't be a quitter." There's nothing wrong with quitting. I'm
No,
sorry.
and also when it comes to parenting, like we've said before, there is no manual, there is no guide. We'll just say it's important to know the difference between encouraging and being pushy.
Yeah, try not to live through your child and just
Mm.
let your child become who they are meant to become. Everybody on this earth is meant to do something. Something. It might not be what you think your child might turn out to be, but just be supportive of it. Don't mean that you got to like hover over them and force it down their throat.
Well, yeah, I
Now,
bet our parents when we was younger didn't think, boy, these two are going to come up and have a talk show.
mm-mm. But I do for a parent, and I do believe that I am pushy when it comes to education, though. Now, if you go to college, that's cool. If
Mm.
you don't go to college, I'm fine with it. But for the 12 years, though, I'm on top. I'm on your top with that because I
Mm.
feel like the the uh the more education you have, especially those 12 years, opens the doors up with no ifs, ands, buts about it to whatever
Okay,
you
so
want to
would
do.
you be one of those parents then? Let's ask this before we close it up. Say one of your sons wanted to do acting, dancing, a sport, right? Would you be one of those parents who would be your grades have to be at a certain at a certain level, or you can't do that?
No,
Okay.
because a lot of these sports, your grades already. I'm not the one that's pushing those rules. Whatever school talent that you have or whatever sport you have, there's the school handles that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like here, you got to be above a certain grade average before you can even try out for sport. And if you try out for sport and you start falling, they sit you down. You don't play.
Mm.
You don't play. We need you to be as good on the court. We want you to be as good off the court. So that's what a lot of these schools do that here
But this is
where
what I was saying earlier. What if somebody isn't as academically bright, but extremely talented and skilled in another area? Surely they could potentially be missing out on their niche if.
no, not really. Because I'm gonna tell you how these schools are nowadays. If they know that you're like, if they know Alfie is a monster in rugby or soccer, guess what? And they want him to play. Guess what? They'll get them tutors in there
Mhm.
to make sure he can play. They'll get, and that's a lot of things. That's a whole nother story. But they'll get the right people in there to help him succeed. You know what I mean? So they can get him on the field. That's how that works here.
All right, pushy parents. Are you
Pushy parents, stop pushing on them. Get off me. I don't want to play. Get off me. I don't want to
are
play.
you a pushy parent? Do you know a pushy parent? What do you think? Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? Comment below. We want
And don't
to
forget, new people,
know.
y'all can subscribe. We don't bite.
Do you know what I mean? We got loads of good things coming up, and if you subscribe, then you're already in the club, so you be in the know.
Yeah, you in the crew. Stop it.
Your
You in the
name's not
crew.
down, you ain't coming in, so you better get that
Y'all
name
hurry
down
up.
on that list.
So now, people, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope the weather's nice for you. Like my cohort over here, she said it's blazing over in England.
Blazing squad.
All I can say, this is Soph.
This is Rich.
And we are from across the pond.
All right, Richalicious.
All right, people, y'all have a wonderful week.
Have a
So,
lovely week.
on our meeting day, you know how we get down.
Yep.
Yupper.